A large college produces 3 magazines. One magazine is about green issues, and one is about equality, and one is about sports. Now, a student at the college is selected at random, and the event G, E, and S are defined as follows. So we're told that G is the event that student reads a magazine about green issues. E is the event that student reads a magazine about equality. And S is the event that student reads the magazine about sports. So this Venn diagram gives the probabilities for each subset. Sometimes I talk about subsets, I talk about segments. In the first question, we are asked, find the proportion of students in the college who read exactly one of these magazines. First of all, let's talk about proportion, because we use probability or proportion. Well, probability kind of represents the chances of some event happening in the future. It's more theoretical, whereas the proportion summarizes what's actually happening right now. In reality, the two are indistinct in some ways. So in here, the proportion is really talking about the probability. Now, if a student reads one magazine, exactly one magazine, the only places that we can get the information from is from this area here. This is where a student only reads the green issues, and here where a student reads only about equality, and we've got a student that reads exactly only sports. And by adding these up, we get 0.53. Now we're told that no students read all 3 magazines. And the other thing we're told also is that PG is equal to 0.25. That means the probability of everything in the green set. I hope that you can see that this P over here, if I can show you the P segment over here, represents students that read all 3 magazines. But we're told that no students read 3 magazines. So what we're basically being said is that P is equal to 0. Now set G, the whole set G, we're told is 0.25. So we can write that 0.25 is equal to 0.08, 0.05, 0, and Q. And we want to know what Q is. After working out, we find that Q is 0.12. Now we come to a problem which is about conditional probability. What makes this a conditional probability? Event S and event E. In short, we just read this as the probability of S given E. And the longer version is it's the probability of event S given that event E has occurred. The probability of S intersection E over the probability of E. And I have to say you actually need to know this formula off by heart, because this is where you get 1 of the marks. And I can't stress this highly enough. This is where you get 1 mark to be able to work this problem out. So we have the probability here. It says SE, and we're given that this is 5/12, which basically is saying that the probability of S intersection E over the probability of E is equal to 5/12. So now we can find out what the probability of S intersection E is first. So S is here, and E is going to be here, this one, P again, and R. The intersection, therefore, will be the one that I make in red, the P and the R. That's the intersection. Now, if you remember, we've already worked out that the value of P is 0. So therefore, the intersection of S and E is going to be equal to 0 plus R. Now, the next one is the probability of event E happening. Event E is all this which was in yellow. We already know that this number here, we already know that that's 0.09. We know that that's 0, and we've got the R. And we want to find the value of R. So we can now say that is R over 0.014 plus R. And we know all that this is actually 5 on 12. As we're given already this. To find R, we'll just cross multiply. So we're going to have 5 multiplied by 0.14 plus R is equal to 12R. By working it out through, I get that R is equal to 0.1. Now the second part of that question says find the value of T. T is outside these events. Now remember that we evaluated Q to be 0.12 and R, as we said, was 0.1. So you remember that everything in this Venn diagram adds up to 1. Now we know what all this adds up to in all the events because we've got numbers for every section. And when I added them up, they come up to 0.8. So if I take 0.8 from 1, I will get 0.2, and that's what T would be, 0.2.